Hey y'all, I'm coming back with a new tutorial how to put a lace front wig on. My first human hair lace front. We're gonna do this, okay? And basically, I just did like a quick cornrow. We're gonna use some Got2b Glue to lay this wig down today. And it's gonna hold it. Watch, just watch. Then I'm gonna use some of this Eco Styler gel. I don't remember if this is the coconut one or not, but it's the Eco Styler gel. And we're gonna lay these edges back. All right, so I'm gonna put this wig cap on, just generic. I didn't even buy it. It came with the wig that I bought on AliExpress. So, and it's really, really tight. And I don't make this mistake I did. I put two on accident. Beach. Yeah, but anyways. So you just want to tuck, if you have long hair like mine, you just want to tuck it in the back. You don't want any of that out because it's not going to lay right. So that's what I did. And I just pull it forward, kind of measuring it out where it's going to like fit. And I'm going to use some Got2b glue to slick the edges more. Because then it'll actually like stick. It sticks way better than Eco Styler in my opinion. So I just put that on top of my edges. This step is totally optional. I thought I would include it though because for people who have hairy faces like mine, like especially the sideburns, I tend to notice that the glue starts to like really like annoy me and pluck those little hairs out, and it's just like really not necessary. So I'm just, yeah, that hurts. It's a beard trimmer, okay, y'all? Don't judge me, okay? But anyways, I'm cutting like not the edges, but just the peach fuzz off my face. So when I lay it down, it's not gonna like, tear it out or hurt me or anything like that because they get pretty annoying. And now that I got that step done, I'm just gonna remeasure it because you want to make sure that the cap is gonna be like not lifting and it's just on there secure, because if it lifts off, then your lace is gonna look weird and you do not want that. I'm just gonna slick it back again for another time with the Got2b glue just to make sure everything is back. You do not have to do this if you don't want to, but if you have like a lot of strayaways like I did, I would recommend it. So yeah, I just measured it out. Also, make sure that you have your cap over your ears, because if you have it behind your ears, it's not gonna lay right. Like, I promise you, it's just gonna keep folding back and the glue is not gonna hold it. You want it to be in contact with your skin. Because look, watch, if I have it behind my ears, that's not gonna lay because I have too much sideburn on the side. So I need to have it like more over like that. And then what I do is I use some of this Got2b glue in substitution of wig glue. It really works, I swear. And so I start from the side, right on the skin. I do not spray the edges. I try as best as possible not to spray the edges. I just spray around the hairline. And obviously, yeah, it's going to get on your hair a little bit, but it's okay. Just try to avoid it as much as possible. But I use this comb too because the natural oils from your hands, it like if you use your hands, it's gonna just lift the cap because that's just what it does. I'm not really sure about the science behind that, but it's happened to me before. And the comb just helps because it ain't got no natural oils, obviously. So now I'm just rubbing the excess glue kind of towards the back of my head as it's just kind of drying. So now I get a hair dryer to dry it as quick as possible, and I put it on, you could either put it on low heat or cool setting if you have a cool setting. This hair dryer doesn't have a cool setting, so I just put it on low heat or like low pressure or air, whatever. Now, this is the most precise part of it all, I believe. So you want to cut around the part where you sprayed. So right at the edge of where it's dry, you cut right around there. And then you're going to go back and you're going to cut more around your hairline. But right now I'm just cutting off the band so I can get an idea of how much more I need to cut. So I'm just doing that. And now I'm just going back over it after I cut the band off to get a more precise cut around the hairline. And be very careful if you're cutting with sharp scissors like these ones, because I have cut my skin before. So this is the part where I messed up. I cut a little bit too high above my ear, and it kind of like snapped backward too, like it just cut too far. So now it's not gonna hold my braids in the back, and it's just not gonna be secured, and everything's just gonna fall out. You'll see that a little later on in the video. There is a way to fix this. You can either put another cap on top of this one, or you can just take the whole thing off and then redo it. I just put another cap on top of it because, you know, you'll see. But as you can see, my hair is a little too exposed, and then I continued to cut when I shouldn't have. I should have just stopped right there and redid it, but I thought I could revive it, but that wasn't the case. As you can see, I am cutting now like I'm about to fix it, but it's not about to be fixed. And yeah, it's just a mess. But I basically end up putting another one on, so it's okay. It works out in the end. As you can see, I have my cornrows out in the back because I messed up, and I tried to cover it up as best as possible, and I put the freaking makeup on and everything, thinking it was going to be cool, but it is not. So I'm going to put another cap on top of it. And honestly, the reason why I did that is because I was a little lazy, okay? And I did not feel like, you know, taking that whole thing off after I put all that glue on. I'd rather just put another one on. I mean, you ain't got to do that, but I was not very happy about that. So I put another one on, and I did the same thing I did before, put it over the ears, and this time I'm going to be more precise and put enough glue on the sideburns so it holds down the band in the back. Or not really the band, but just holds it all down in place so it doesn't stretch like it did before. So after drying it for about, like, I would say 5 or 10 minutes, I have a lot more glue on the sideburn area, obviously not really on the edges, and then I just cut how I did before, around the glue first, and then I go back and I do a more detailed cut around the hairline. So now I'm more cautious. I put more glue on around the ear area, and I'm actually gonna just tuck the excess back like that instead of cutting it more forward. And it's not uncomfortable the way it's tucked. It's like not gonna hurt your ear or anything like that. It's not gonna rub against it. You're not even gonna feel it, so it's fine. I recommend doing it like that instead of just cutting too high, because then you'll end up how it was before, all rolled up and ugly and everything. So just do it like that. Okay, so now I'm gonna put some of this Got2b glue after I did a precise hairline cut. And then I'm gonna get my comb, and I'm gonna get my hair dryer, and I'm gonna, like, at the same time lay it down with the hair dryer on. So I start, like, you know, piece by piece. I don't just do the whole thing because the stuff dries quick, especially with the hair dryer on it. So I'm just gonna melt it down like this. And you want to make sure that your comb is clean. Like if you've done a lace front before and you put makeup on it and you laid it down like this, just make sure it's clean. You don't want any makeup residue because it's not going to look very nice when it gets really like a smeared look with the makeup. You don't want that. That's not going to look cute. So I'm just gonna make sure my comb is clean while I smear it down like this, because it's really just gonna give it that melted effect so you don't see it through the lace. So after laying it down as much as possible, I'm just gonna cut around the hairline a little bit more, try to get it as close to my hairline, and also try to get a little bit of the smaller pieces that are kind of like sticking out or rolled up. And please be careful while doing this because you can cut your skin. And now I'm going to use the Got2b Glued gel to lay it down. You can use a comb or your finger for this. At this point, the natural oils aren't really going to, lift up that cap, especially if you have two on like mine. So I'm just going to lay the rest of it down like the little flyaways. Now I'm just blending in this powder that matches my skin tone with this powder brush. I got it from Walgreens. I think it's called True Match, but I'm just laying it down and blending it in. It's gonna look like that when it's done. All right, y'all, this is my wig. I got it from AliExpress. It came pre-plucked with baby hairs and bleach knots, but when I got it, the baby hairs were a little too long for my liking, so I cut it a little bit more, and then I plucked it some more in the middle because it was really thin. Like, there wasn't really much of like a part, even though they said it was pre-plucked. So I just went in and did it again, but I didn't bleach the knots because they were kind of matching my skin tone and blending in really nice, so I didn't do that. But right now I'm just pulling it back because you do not want the hairline to be too close to your eyebrows, especially if you have a short forehead like mine. So I'm just going to pull mine back, and then I'm going to match it to my sideburns and measure it and make sure everything is even and it's going to lay right, you know what I mean? Okay, so now I'm going to put the glue on back on the cap because I'm about to lay my wig down, and I need it to be tacky and sticky so it lays with the lace perfectly. So I'm just doing that all around my hairline. And then after that, I put some of this Got2b glue spray on the hairline on top of the gel. It's completely optional. You do not have to do this. I just did it because I did not want my lace to lift at all. I also dried it so it's kind of tacky when I put the lace front on. And then I got a little rag because the spray is obviously a different, like it's fluid, so it's going to drip. And I didn't want it to be all over my face. And then I put the lace front on, and you want it to like, you just be patient with it because you don't want to just put it on really quick and then your edges are going to be all under the lace and then it's going to look really unnatural, and you do not want that. So I kind of just line it up a little bit of where my natural part is in my head and just put it right in the middle, you know what I mean? Because you don't want it to be all on the side unless you want a side part. And it's not going to stick completely down until you dry it. So it's okay to like lay it down like I'm doing because it's not going to completely stick to the head like that. But you also get to see how blended it's going to be. Like you get to see like how good it's going to look on your head. You know what I mean? After I laid the wig down, before I dried it, just laying it down, I got the comb and kind of pressed into my skin and the lace, so it's just actually like set and ready to be dried. So I'm just patting it down with the comb. I mean, you could use your fingers, but I feel like this is more flat and I can really like flatten it and melt it to my forehead. Now I am drying the lace down, and I'm also patting it with the comb and doing more of a forward motion on low heat. You could do it on cool, but low heat kind of works better and it dries faster for me. This is also optional. I just decided to flat iron mine because I was tired of the curls, and I noticed that the baby hairs and the hair looks better when it's flat ironed. That's just my opinion. You could do it curly if your wig is curly. This is not synthetic. I don't know if I mentioned that before, but this is human hair, so it just looks more natural. If you have a hot comb, I really recommend doing that instead of what I just did with the curling rod. But I don't have a hot comb, so I use the curling rod. It's a good substitute, but I think the hot comb is better. And now I'm just going to brush all that hair back to expose those baby hairs so I can lay them and slay them down. Because come on now, how you finna put a wig on and not lay the baby hairs? Come on now, you got to do that, especially with this wig. This wig needs some baby hairs, all right? And now I'm just gonna get my toothbrush. The other one is kind of hard. This one's softer and it's better for my forehead because the other one kind of scrapes against my forehead unless I wet it. But I just like this one better for the baby hairs. So I'm just going to lay it down with some Eco Styler and do it like a swooping motion. Let me know if y'all want an edge video. I'm not really like that good with edges, but I was pretty satisfied at how these edges came out because they were pretty laid. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to not gas myself up. I mean, come on now. They pretty laid. Okay, so now after that, I'm obviously still going to do my baby hairs, but sometimes they clump together, like the hair, and the baby hairs look too thick, and I don't think that's really that natural. So I comb it out with the other one because it's just a really small comb, and it really gets that smoother effect, and it's not too thick. So it really just takes a lot of finesse when you're doing your edges on your wig because obviously it's not your real hair. So it just takes time and practice. All right, I know I said before I wasn't going to use this one because it was kind of hard. The brush is kind of hard, but it just lays better. I mean, you can really use whatever you have, toothbrush or edge brush, whatever you got. I was just trying to get it as slick as possible so it doesn't lift and it's more looking natural and more attached to my head. So after that, I just brushed down the hair so it's nice and flat. I will insert pictures of what my wig looked like. But this is the end of the video. I hope y'all enjoyed. Please like and subscribe.